Alright, so if you are just tuning in, this is FXO versus Rox. And Rox, surprisingly, is up 2-0. We had Sleevco beat Lenok and Lucky. So this guy's clearly a ZVZ sniper. Also, remember, if you haven't, well, actually, it's probably already too late now, but I hope you guys tweeted NASL TV for your match predictions, because if you get the score completely right, we will be sending 5 lucky winners NASL t-shirts. So hopefully you got in on that, and if not, then maybe tomorrow we will be doing some more.
Who's the FXO player?
FXOZ.
Oh, okay, OZ.
He is a very, very handsome Korean Protoss. One of the more underrated Protosses, in my opinion. I remember that even as far back as like MLG Anaheim, he was not that great, but over the last 3-4 months of 2011, he improved dramatically. I mean, he had a what was it? The GSL, his GSL run that was like absolutely insane, where he got to the semifinals, perhaps.
Oh, really? Sick.
I'm pretty sure he made a really deep GSL run at some point during the end of this year. I think it was sometime after August. Maybe, I'm sure someone in the stream chat will be able to correct me. But this guy is, in my opinion, he's improved quite a bit since one of the MOGs, the first MOG he played at, where I think he lost to several foreigners even. That's just what I know of FXOZ. Pretty good player.
Absolutely. And yeah, Sleevco is going for a pretty standard pool, no gas just yet. Yeah. Probably anticipating a fast expansion. I love that he took his fast expansion. This guy is smart. I like this guy. I like Sleevco.
Yep. And meanwhile, FXOZ is taking his own expansion. Nexus first and then a Forge, which is good, especially because they know the map is cross positions, which means rush distances are going to be really big, which allows the Protoss player to be a little bit greedier than he may normally get to be. He can make that Nexus first a bit more safely and know that he can get a cannon out in time in order to prevent any kind of Zergling run by, unless obviously the Zerg is like doing some kind of crazy all-in. But in these sorts of clan wars, you generally don't play like that. So I think he felt fairly safe.
Yeah. I don't necessarily agree with 4 links by Sleevco. I think the fact that he was allowed to drop that hatchery first at his expansion was already a way of not making 4 links that you need otherwise to break the pylon and whatever else might happen. But I mean, he's using 2 of the links to scout for the probe and the pylon. If you do find the probe, you need 2 links to kill the probe, or 1 link is never gonna kill it. Actually, the probe will regen its shields if you just have 1 ling in it, even if it has like 1 HP left.
Right.
So that might be the only reason he did that. He's keeping 1 at the watchtower and 1 outside of Z's base. But yeah, I would have just preferred to see 2 lings. A pretty fast third by Sleevco.
Definitely a fast third, and I think, I mean, especially knowing that Oz probably Nexus first. I guess the typical Zerg response seems to be going for that early third, because you know that Protoss is most likely not going to have a lot of units out in the early game if they went Nexus first.
Yeah, definitely. He's also skipping on the gas, which I also like very much. However, he might want to take a gas or 2 soon here, because Z is going to have a Cybercore up, and if he decided to go apply some pressure with a Stalker and sell it or something like that, that could be dangerous. And
it doesn't seem like he's going to be doing that, because he's not really chrono boosting the Stalker. I feel like usually when the Protoss player does that, they'll either get like 2 Zealots and then just chrono boost Stalkers, so they can apply a lot of early pressure to Zerg players, but it doesn't seem quite like he's doing that. We do see a forward pylon by Z, so kind of curious to see what that is going to be used for later on.
Well, this is one of the more standard responses to... Oh, okay, I know what he's doing. One of the most standard responses to this kind of like fast expand third by Protosses on the Korea server is just to go ahead and break that third, and that's kind of like where the whole game revolves around.
Right.
It's like if I kill your third, you lose. If you defend it, you win. Slivko, however, dropping a Roach Worm really early on, I really like that. And the one thing about Slivko that bothers me is that he like always seems to oversaturate his natural, and he never has enough drones in his main. Like that's
yeah, that's true. He only has 12.
He seems to forget. He seems to forget to re-rally back to his main, and once he rallies back to his natural, and when he starts taking his gases, there we go. There's a drone transfer to his main.
Right.
But yeah, he's gonna need to start producing roaches soon. I love the timing to sacrifice that overlord, but we're probably gonna see a very aggressive Z here soon. I don't know why he warped in those sentries up the ramp. It kind of gives it away that he's gonna try and be aggressive here.
Right. It's kind of interesting, actually, the fact that he's only getting 4 gateways in the Twilight Council. Usually when you make the forward pylon and you kind of show this kind of aggression, you're usually going, 6 gate or something to try to kill that third early on. Because usually, what I see a lot is going for that 6 gate, trying to kill the third or at least hurt them a lot, and while doing that you take your own third. But it doesn't seem like he's doing that. It's actually going for Blink.
He really chrono boosted the Cyber Core. Which was good, and then what you usually do is have forward pylon warp in a bunch of cells before any roaches are out, and try to harass the third with that, while taking whatever else you want to tech to behind it. Right. But Slivko, even if Z had done that, Slivko, I feel like he was ready for it. He had a roach worm really early on, and that might be why Z just decided not to go for it.
Yeah, but, if you notice, he's pretty much just backing up and giving that position up. And I'm kind of interested to see if he's going to go for that third. Actually, it's really interesting to see Z continue to wall his main off. It's kind of really playing very safe.
Wow, sick force field. So you see that? Wow, that was so sick.
Ah, I missed it.
He saved a stalker with a force field, so that was amazing. 1 force field to save a stalker. I've never seen that before. But
I was looking at the natural expansion. He's always, if he's walled off the mains, he's like really paranoid of a Ling run by.
Z is all in at this point. If Slivko can repel this attack, he will win again, which would be really impressive. But
yeah, I mean,
it's definitely not gonna be easy. Slivko has no burrow. He is just getting roach speed. He is not falling behind in upgrades, however, which many Zergs do when defending against an all-in. So if this does go to the later game, Slivko could be in a really good spot. But Z is just warping in a lot of stuff, man.
Yep. Although he is down in army count, he does have quite a few sentries. Actually, if you look at the unit count, he's got 11 sentries, and that pretty much makes the Protoss super strong. And I don't know if I like this decision of Slivko splitting his army. He's got a pretty nice size force up at the top of the map, and a lot of units here at his natural. And because of force fields, he's just trying to go for flank.
I'm not sure. I don't think he wants to split it with me as much as this position is the most annoying thing ever, though.
Yeah. Like, see, now Z is in a great spot. He's actually going to be able to take down this third because he has so many force fields. And this is, I mean, Slivko pretty much just let him do exactly what he wanted, actually, and that's a ton of probes he loses. So Slivko says, you know what, he's just going to go straight for their counterattack, and this is where the wall-in comes in. I mean, this is such a brutal wall, you can't really even get past this unless you have...
Not warping any sentries, though, which is a little bit weird, but yeah.
Yeah, no, he's just relying on buildings to stop this, and I don't know if the buildings are going to be able to hold long enough. But
yeah, I don't think they will. Oh wow, I'm not. Wow. Okay, I don't like this. I don't like this decision by Z. Pull him back here. I mean, like, he's gonna lose his nexus at the very least. That's gonna put him all in. Slivko is doing the proper thing, very smart, just making a crap ton of spine crawlers behind it because he knows after this Z has to go all in. So Slivko really smart, just targeting the nexus and now all the probes. Z is absolutely all in right now, and if Slivko can hold, keep making spines, man. If I were Slivko right now, I would drop 7 more spines, 10 more spines. I don't care. Like, you just have to hold this next attack and you'll win.
Yep. Yeah, it doesn't look like he's doing that. Actually, I think Slivko made a little bit of a mistake because I feel like he should have been targeting down sentries with those last few roaches, but he didn't kill any of them. And actually, we still have 11 sentries that have basically full energy. So I think if Z, wants to have a chance to get in, win this game, the sentries are going to be a big reason why.
It's coming down to right now, but I would have liked to see more spines.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I'm not sure if this is going to be enough.
Yeah, I mean, he just doesn't have the actual forces. I mean, if he had like 20 spines, he could have held this forever.
Yeah.
Ooh, big blink up, and we don't see fungals. Oh yeah, we do see some fungals, but wow, so many force fields, and again, this is
just a tiny bit late.
Yep. It still
looks.
It's still kind of hard to call a winner on this. I think Z has an edge, definitely, but it's okay. Z is definitely taking the lead now.
Yeah, that was really close though.
And
that was the right call. The counterattack was. I think he played it really smart. I think Z really knows this map. Z has obviously planned that strategy for this map.
Yeah.
Just that positioning where he attacked the third from is incredibly hard for the Zerg to break because it's a nice clump of Protoss army, and then force fields are just so ridiculously effective from there.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree. I really think, Slivko did a great job with the counterattack, and then Oz did a great job with the counterattack, because basically at that point he had no other option. He had to go, or he would be dead. Again, as you mentioned with the spine crawlers, I think Slivko could have done that. I think he could have targeted down a couple sentries. I think even if he had killed, 3 or 4 sentries, when Z went back to his main, back to his nat to defend and kill Slivko's army, I think even 3 or 4 less sentries with that big army, I think would have helped Slivko out a ton, because those force fields just completely nullified any advantage he had with army.
Yeah, definitely. And Slivko definitely, one thing that he probably thought about too is like, if I just make a crap ton of spines, he can just blink up, and if he has an observer. So I think the infestors were a pretty good option. I did not see the infestors, and that was crucial too. If those 4 infestors had popped out a little bit earlier, it would have been a lot easier to hold for Slivko. He could have just locked the units down for a little bit longer, and again, the longer the game went, the better for Slivko, as he was on 2 bases, basically no.
Yep. Well, we are going to get into the next game in just a moment. Rox is still leading with a 2-1 lead, and so we'll be back in a minute with Game 4.